Hey everybody, welcome to Go Get It by Getitlex Motivational Mindset, the podcast. So today we're back with another interview and we're here with Miss Nicole. So we're gonna do some claps for her because I know my equipment is messed up. But anyway, thank you for coming on my podcast. I know you're super busy. I know you got a ton of things to do. So we're
Problem.
just gonna
Thank you
cut
for
this.
having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So I know you have a couple of different business ventures going on. So we're gonna try to sum it up, and we're gonna talk about two. So I know a little bit about you. So you have the floor to tell the people who you are.
Well, my name is Nicole Culbreth, and I am an entrepreneur. I have multiple businesses. My two main ones is first one is Neighborhood Community Services. It's a mental health counseling agency where we provide mental health counseling to kids and adults. It's community-based services, and we are located in Lothian, Virginia. And my other company is Quiklid Products, and it's actually a product in which I invented, which is a reusable lid for aluminum pans.
Awesome. So when did you decide to step into entrepreneurship?
Actually, um, when I was in my early 20s. I was in my early 20s, like early 20s, mid 20s is when I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Um, and it was always in the field of human services because I have an extensive career in human services. I've been working with at risk youth and individuals in the community at risk since I was about pretty much 18 years old.
Okay. So tell me about the process of becoming certified or just being a counselor in general and being able to open up something like
Well, I have a master's in human services. So I went to school and got my graduate degree because I wanted to further my knowledge in the human service field and to be able to be more effective as a CEO. I decided to open up my own agency. I was about, I believe, 28 years old when I started the process, 28, 29. And when I moved to Virginia, because I'm originally from Pennsylvania, I worked for the city for a good 4 years, 4 or 5 years. And then I ventured off and started, no, actually, that's not correct. I worked for the city for about 3.5 years, and then I left and went full force as an entrepreneur. And while I was in the licensing process, I was working for the police department.
that? Mm.
Yeah. So,
So did you like that? Did you like working for the police department?
yeah, I mean, it was an experience. I got to network with a lot of people, know a lot of people. Um, and, I worked their gang reduction program. So it was very interesting. And I was able to learn a lot and gain a lot of knowledge in the field of law enforcement and more on prevention and intervention programs.
So being in the human services field and dealing with kids and adults too as well, were there any kind of hurdles that you can distinctly remember that kind of might have tried to deter you from your path or your mission?
Well, running a business is not easy.
Mhm.
And I would say when you have the difficult population, all populations can be difficult, but when you have those that you've spent a lot of time with, invested a lot of time in trying to get them to walk the right path, or change their behavior for the better. And then it all goes to it all goes downhill, and you kind of beat yourself up as as a human service worker, because you feel like you failed them, you know but you you do have to process. You do have to take time to process, because at the end of the day, it's not an easy task. And if you can change one person's life, then that's enough. So, and the work that's being done is, well worth it. So, there's definitely lots of hurdles when it comes to the mental health field. There's ups and there's downs, but you definitely also have to make sure that you have a good network of people and resources that you stay connected to, because, like, for me and my agency, we can't do it all. So we have to be able to navigate other resources so that we can refer these individuals to the proper, treatment and care that they need.
Um, what is some of the most um, memorable and like important events or situations that you've encountered thus far um, being a counselor?
Of being a counselor, well, of course, one is just opening up my agency. Being
Hmm.
able to open up my agency and literally maintain it for 11 years. It's a long
That's a
time.
long time. That's
Yeah,
a long time.
a
Yes,
long time.
that is a long time. And I know it's a lot of people that you encounter from all different walks of life and situations. And I
Right.
know that's got to be overwhelming
I've
sometimes.
seen it. Yes, I've seen it all. And even prior to me getting into direct care of, mental health and open community based mental health, opening up my own agency, I worked with all population. I worked with, substance abuse. I worked with domestic violence victims. I worked with both adults and adolescents, sex offenders. So I really got the whole gamut of experience when, working in that field.
So how does it feel when people sit down with you and they tell you things and it's like you sometimes like you people tell you things and you might want to help them more than what you can, especially in that. Like, does that ever like weigh on you when you
Oh,
go home?
absolutely. It does. Myself and I've had staff struggle with that as well. It's hard. So you try to you do all that you can do within boundaries, because you definitely got to maintain your boundaries,
Hmm.
because sometimes if you overstep the boundaries, then you're sending the wrong message to your client, and it can get sticky.
Mm.
So
Wow.
you want to make sure that you operate within ethical standards, and you lay out what the boundaries are. And sometimes you gotta you gotta walk away with a heavy heart and be able to
Help the next
just,
person.
yes, be able to just
Hmm.
move on without having to say, dang, I wish I could pay her, her rent, or his rent for him, or put you know uh groceries in the house. And we, there's ways that you can do that without having to do it personally, because there's
Hmm.
resources out there.
Right. Right. Um, so tell me this real quick. How did you manage to go from counseling to being an inventor?
um well, that certainly wasn't on my bucket list. um
Okay.
that certainly was not on my bucket list. I was away, and I was hosting a dinner um for some friends. And we kids, they were we had the kids there, and it kind of just dawned on me because the kids, when they were serving their food, when they were serving themselves, I kept having to go behind them and keep
Close it.
fixing aluminum foil and keep
Uh-huh.
changing it out. And it was driving me crazy. And I was in the middle of reading Damon John's The Power of Broke. I was Shark Tank's one of my favorite shows. So I was watching that show and reading his book, and it's just crazy. I just had a moment, and it was just like, why don't we have more reliable lids for these pans?
Yeah.
And so literally in April of 2016 is when I came up with that idea.
So how many times did it take you to get it right? Like to
Um, I say between 16 and 18, I've had several drawings done.
mm,
Um, and then towards the end of 2018, I told myself that I was going to buckle down and focus because, I would work on it. I would do research. I would have notes. I have tons of notebooks, like two full notebooks of notes. And I would just put it to the side and then, just focus on mental health and just say, I don't got the, it's going to take a lot of money probably,
mm,
to bring it to fruition, and just getting comfortable with what my next steps were. And then towards the end of 18, I told myself, I said, you know what, Nick, you got to do this because if you don't, somebody else will.
mm-hmm.
And just seeing all the ideas, creative ideas, even on Shark Tank, it just made me think I better start, getting the ground running before somebody thinks of my idea and get get it running first.
Mm-hmm.
And so in 19, I buckled down, and then I just started talking to, close friends and family, and just, sharing my idea and just seeing, what type of support I got.
Yeah. So tell me the process, like, or if you can remember from the beginning, like where did you have to start at to get this going? Like as far as did you have to find a manufacturer? I mean, like how do you find somebody to make that
Right.
product?
So first, as I told you, I had several drawings. So those drawings I had in my research and trying to find out how I can get a prototype made based on my drawings. It was suggested that the cheaper way to go would have been possibly a 3D printing. So then, in me doing my research with 3D printing, you had to find someone who knew CAD design. So it's a certain software. So my images had to be converted into a CAD design in order to even, you know, get a 3D model. So as of course, networking and um, is a friend of our. Well, he's a friend now, but I had a meeting with him on the mental health side in reference to an EMR system, electronic medical record system. And ironically, he did CAD design. So then
Oh, that
I
works
said, "You
out.
do CAD design?" He said, "Yeah." So what happened was I said, "Oh, we need to meet on another project." He said, "Okay." And so when I told him my idea and I showed him my drawings, he was like, "Wow." He was very intrigued. And he said, "Well, I definitely can." He said, "I can, I can definitely work on this, but I need permission to bring in um, another one of my colleagues." And I said, "Okay." So, we did our disclosure forms and everything. And his colleague happened to be a former senior industrial designer from Rubbermaid who left Rubbermaid.
Wow.
Yeah, who left Rubbermaid and actually started her own company in California.
Wow.
And when I tell you they brought my when they did the CAD design, I mean they brought my vision all the way to life. And then it just started
Wow.
from there.
Wow. So from there, how long after did you do the pet?
It took us it took about a good almost probably about a year to get the final designs and details intact. Then the next process would have been getting prototypes done. But before that, I had to raise money. So my first investor I landed my first investor in August of 19. And then my second investor, I landed about a year later. I think it was maybe about October 2020. Um, and between those two investments and my own money, I was able to start the patent process in January of 2020.
Mm.
And then by
So
January of this year, we had to move towards, finalizing our patent information.
okay. So how do you go about seeking investors? Like, how do you do that?
Just talking to people, just, talking to people and hoping that you're talking to the right people.
Oh, okay.
Originally, my first investor I landed, I um, I was actually friends with him. He was referred to by a mutual friend of ours, and he was like, a friend of mine was like, "Did you talk to our friend so and so?" And I was just like, "No." I, he would have been the last person I would ask, because yes, we were cool, we were friends, we knew each other from being in the field,
Hmm.
but not comfortable enough to say, "Will you invest in my company?"
Right.
And yeah, so he was like, "No, you need to really talk to him for real." And so he called him on the spot and was just like, "You need to meet with Nicole on this project." And we met, and I met with him and his wife, and they loved it. And that's how I landed my first investment.
Awesome. Awesome. So from the patent process, so is it still in the patent process?
Yeah, so patents can take up to 3 years to get finalized and approved.
Okay.
So um, we will be in year two. I mean, our full complete year would be in January. So it could take a whole nother 2 years until we get a final decision on our patent.
That's okay. That's
Yeah, it is
okay.
okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's filed. That's
Um,
all that matters.
that's it, right? It's emotion. So hey, listen, they can't stop their process regardless.
Sure can't.
So let me ask you this. Now, is it different sizes that you have for different
Yeah,
um
so there will be different sizes. We're initially launching with the half size lid.
okay.
That's the most common size that's being used. And
Hmm.
then we'll do the full size lid. And then there's two other sizes that we're working on, that we will be bringing to market as well.
Okay. Awesome. So um do you plan so before the patent process is complete, can you sell those in the store?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
where
So
is your product right now? Okay.
we're in pre-sales right now.
Okay.
So our product won't be shipped to any consumers until spring of 2022. But we are taking pre-sales
Okay.
through our
Oh,
website. Um, and getting into the stores, it takes time. It takes time getting into the big box stores, time
okay.
and money, because you got to pay for the
Right.
space.
Yeah,
A
but
lot of
they gonna
people
need
don't
it.
know. Huh?
As many they gonna need them as many containers as these stores sell, especially around uh Fourth of July, Thanksgiving coming up. I mean, shoot,
Football,
eh,
tailgate.
football, yeah. It's a lot of catering companies opening up now. You know, you got the food trucks and stuff. So, it's really needed. It really is. And I get tired of using all my aluminum foil trying to cover up a pan.
I know, I
Especially
know.
when you outside and you get to blowing. Then you got to
hmm
go. You got to pull off
And
another
when you
sheet.
have, when you have the big events, so people buy multiple rolls of aluminum foil.
Right.
Nope. Save that money. Save
No.
that money.
And then you can read. They're reusable, correct?
Yes, they are reusable. You're able to warm them in the oven. Um,
Oh.
you're able to warm them in the oven up to 230 degrees. And they're also dishwasher safe.
Awesome.
So,
So from the picture I saw, it has a open, like you could open and shut it, correct?
yes, you can open and shut it. And I actually have the lid on hand. For me to show it to you.
Yes. I'm sorry, I had to check my hair, and it is on my hair.
All right, so this is the lid right here.
Oh. Oh, that is
So
nice.
you can see through it.
Okay.
It
Yes.
opens on both sides.
Yes, ma'am.
And see it with the aluminum foil on it.
Oh, yep. Right on the money.
So, and
Oh, that's
then the
sweet.
great thing about it too is that they're stackable, so your food won't
Oh.
get disrupted. So,
Oh,
if
so
you
like you
have,
can stack the containers on top.
yes,
Okay.
yep. So if you have
Awesome.
another aluminum pan with a quick lid, all you do is just stack it on top and
And go
easy to
home.
maneuver, and it won't disrupt the food.
That is awesome. That is great.
Thank
Oh,
you.
that's great.
And when you put it in the dishwasher, so it's three pieces, so you could dismantle it and you put it in the dishwasher.
Ooh.
So it's three
So make
pieces.
sure everything is clean, every piece
Yep,
of it.
yep,
Yeah, and that's really mandatory, especially when you in the food industry,
yes,
caterer, cook,
yes. You
chef,
are so
whatever. Yeah,
right. Yep, we will
yeah.
be NSF certified, so that is that's a process.
That's a big deal. That is. Oh, that's great. So, I know, I know you got stuff to do. So we got like
Oh
three more
no, it's
questions.
fine.
Um, um,
It's fine. We good.
um, how has the support been from your family and the community?
The support has been good. The support has been good, but I will say, if I could match $1 for every congratulations I got, congratulations, and um, we could probably, I could have probably met my campaign goal, but it's okay. it's been it's been a lot of verbal support.
Oh shoot!
Ooh, you okay?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
hmm You can't hear me?
Can you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you. Hmm.
I can't hear you.
Did somebody try
Okay.
calling you? Okay.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay,
you.
good. Okay, I got you. Ah, so my phone rung and the sound went out.
Oh, the sound went off.
So sorry about
No, that's okay.
that. So we were talking about the support, and you were saying for every dollar, I mean for every congratulations, that you can have a lot of money.
Huh?
For
No, no,
every
no. So
congratulations, you will have a lot, or you wouldn't.
yeah, we could have, probably met our campaign goal because we did run a fundraising what you call it, Indiegogo campaign.
Uh huh.
So it gives you an opportunity to kind of raise funds prior to your product coming out.
Okay.
But I'm grateful for all the all the support that's came my way, and I'm grateful.
Well, there's more to come, of course. You already
Oh
know. It's like
yeah,
you
absolutely.
know, it's a big deal. I think your product is great, and I know other people think it's great. Um, so what keeps you motivated to keep going?
um, just life. My grandkids, my kids. I have I have 6 grandkids and one on the way.
Ooh,
Yeah, so
ooh, I would have never thought.
I have 3 adult children. So
Oh,
just I'm a visionary. I'm a creator. So that's just in my blood.
mhm. It's hard to stray
So
from that when it's
really,
in you.
right,
Yeah,
exactly. And
yeah.
um and it's when I create things, it's nothing short term, It's always something long term. But in the end, at the end of the day, money don't come easy. So
Hmm.
it's okay.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. I mean,
Hmm.
you're doing great. You got like you got multiple businesses, and I know you got to keep them afloat and all that good stuff. But just first of all, to be in business for 11 years, like you said, that's a huge accomplishment. A lot of people are just wishing that they can be in business for 1 year, or they can get through the first year of business and
Right.
be able to have some longevity. So, I think that's awesome. Um, like you said, it's
And
been.
and the key to that is being able to pivot when you need to pivot, make changes where you need to make changes, modify whatever, it you have to be open to change because it's not going to stay the same from beginning to end. It's just not. Everything changes, especially in mental health. Regulation after regulation changes. Then when regulation changes, you got to change operations, and
Hmm.
you may have to hire more people, or you may have to get rid of people. There was some regulations that came down in 19, and we had to get rid of certain staff that didn't have certain credentials. Because at one point they could work the field, and then all of a sudden they couldn't. So it's just, you know, change. So you got to be
Yeah.
able to adapt to change and be able to pivot when you need to.
And not be deterred or uh,
Right.
lose focus of the objectives because on like plenty of the interviews I did, it was like a big deal to say, hey, look, like you got to be consistent and you got to know that things are not going to always go as planned.
Right.
So a lot of times, once you take that big fall, one big fall, you kind of learn like, okay, I got to have a plan B, I got to have a plan C. something in a way
Yeah,
that you
you
won't be
definitely
let
have
down.
to have other plans in place, other lanes in place. And that's why they say, as an entrepreneur, you have to create multiple streams of income because, you can take a hit in one lane. So then you have other lanes that's going to support you,
Hmm.
especially when you have staff that you have a staff. So ultimately, when you have employees, you're responsible for their livelihood,
Yeah.
you know? And so it's not just about you, it's about those 20 people or 15 people that work for you,
Yeah.
that you have to be, or it could be 100 or 500. You're ultimately responsible for their livelihood. So
Right. And that's a heavy weight to bear.
that
Um,
is, it's
to
a
know
lot.
that. Hmm.
Absolutely.
To know that one slip of a pen or loss of paperwork can kind of like jeopardize your way of living and the people that
Right.
come up under you. That's serious.
Yes, absolutely. So,
That is serious. So I got one more question. What would you tell someone, an inventor that maybe don't know what's going on, don't know have any outlet other than Google to try to figure out a way to get their product out there or get a patent going
um, well, first and foremost, make sure that you map out a plan first because you want to be able to navigate yourself. Even if it's your plan, you still want to make sure that you map it out and you do your research. Um, and don't be afraid, to talk to people. Just talk to people that you trust because in turn, then you know, they'll navigate you to other people that they may know that are in positions to help you,
on.
to take you or to help you take your product or vision to another level. So definitely networking and um, making sure that you, make those connections um,
Mm.
and have a solid plan. Have a solid plan. Don't be quitting no jobs
Right.
until until your business start popping or your products start popping. Just you know, be humble and you gotta be patient. Definitely
Yeah.
patient.
Everything works in time. And
Yep.
it's like easy come, easy go. You think you're gonna get it quick, and you do, it's gonna leave just as fast as you got it.
Right.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that too. That people look at people and their success and where they're at, but don't understand like this is something that had to happen over time. And a lot of people don't
It's not happen
understand that.
overnight. Absolutely.
Like that's
Absolutely.
being like overlooked nowadays because people, and it's not the fault of the business owner that you want to showcase that you're doing good or whatever, whatever. But people just feel like they supposed to. Some people think it's just supposed to jump over and just automatically be at the
Automatically
success.
win. Right. And
Mhm.
it automatically start coming. And unfortunately those are people that end up falling and not being able to make it to even the second, level of
Yep.
experience in entrepreneurship. So you definitely, just like this mental health business, I've been in it for 11 years and I've seen people open up business. I've seen businesses fall. You've heard about the fraud, all that. And a lot of people, I've seen a handful of people get in it for the wrong reasons. You know, they look at how many clients that they can get, what they can bill, and that's it. They don't think about how to run the back office. They don't think about what it takes to maintain a company as such. It's so much that you have to oversee. It's not just staffing. It's paperwork. Your paperwork
Mm.
got to be right. If your paperwork ain't right, you're paying money back to the state,
Mm.
you know? And let that number get so high, then you're under investigation. So it's just so much that
Right.
goes into running that type of company. And some people get in it just because they see what they can bill, you know? And so that's just an example of what you were saying.
It's a sad but honest truth. You know, I can
Mhm.
see. I worked in healthcare for about 8 years in my younger years, and I had run across all types of situations where it was just like, oh no. And that's why I had to start working. I said healthcare. Well, yeah, healthcare. I work with people. So, working in the healthcare field, it was
I can hear you.
working in the healthcare field was the same way. Um,
Yep.
People were like, you know, so underhanded, and I didn't like the way people was being treated, and I had to get out of that field because it was just awful. It was really awful. So I can only imagine the same things occur in, you know, the human services field as well.
Right.
So,
So, yeah. And so understand, like, that's healthcare. That's mental health is considered healthcare. So it's pretty much the same thing what you've experienced.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It just kept going. Like I couldn't hear you. I had to go.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just
I'm
saying
new
that.
to this. I'm new to this. Don't hold it against
No, that's okay. That's okay.
me.
I was just saying that mental health is considered healthcare as well.
Hmm.
It's definitely under the healthcare family. So it's the same thing. You know, you got to manage those charts, make sure um, the right documentation is in place, make sure the right documentation is being documented. So it's a lot.
It is. Um. So, how can you be contacted so people can pre-order your legs and just
So
maybe
they
ask you
can. So
questions?
our website actually, it's going live tonight.
Okay.
So our website is www.quiklid, quiklid spelled Quiklid products.com.
Okay.
And and if anyone needs uh, any services, community-based services for their kids um, or any adults that may need services, they can go to www.neighborhoodcommunityservices.com.
Okay. Awesome. So,
Mhm.
do you have any questions for me?
I don't, but I appreciate you reaching out to me. I appreciate you having interest in interviewing me. I'm very honored and humbled, and I look forward to going to your event. So
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
hoping,
you.
yeah, I look forward to checking out your event. So
Thank
definitely,
you.
believe.
Um, I never ever encountered anybody who had made anything, invented anything, let alone a patent for anything. So I was like, what? This is something that people need to hear because it can be done. People that's in a box, they can see that if you have a creative ability, if you have an idea, run
Yeah,
with your idea, and you can make it work. And
yeah.
you don't need a whole bunch of people to back you to run with your
No,
own
just
idea.
you take baby steps. Take baby steps and just crawl before you walk. That's what they say. To date, I've had four people invest in me. Total of four people, and and that's a big deal for me.
Yeah, that's
So
huge.
it just takes time.
Yeah, it does. And so I thank you for coming on my podcast. You covered everything wonderfully, gracefully. You did an awesome job speaking. Um, I think everything was communicated very well. And I look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing you. I look forward to seeing your product. I know a lot of people that came on my podcast are caterers. They work in the food business industry,
Oh,
and this is something
awesome.
that I know they would need. Somebody actually, my friend me, she has a catering business in Maryland, and
Oh, okay.
she shared your post. Um,
Oh,
so
awesome. Well, I
yeah,
appreciate that. And we are so I'm going to be doing cooking with Nicole lives, and I'm going to be getting with caterers and stuff. So I ain't going
yay,
to be the one doing the cooking, but I want, you know, I'm going to have caterers featured. So definitely send me their info. I would
oh
definitely,
yes.
yeah, me and my marketing rep will reach out to them.
Yes, I'm gonna
Yeah.
drop a whole list and I'll email it to you. Um,
Definitely email them to me. Definitely.
I am because I know these people what they want it. They hungry for the opportunities
Yes.
like this. I know they want to snag up anything
It's
they
gonna be
can to get
cooking and
there.
conversations and cocktails.
Yeah, look, I'm telling you, man, that's a bunch. I know a solid 10 at least
Okay. All
that will
right.
be
Yeah,
interested
send
in
me their
doing something.
info.
Yes, yes, ma'am. So
All
that
right.
concludes our interview.
Thank you.
I
I
want to thank you
appreciate you,
again.
Liz.
Yes, much
And good job on your podcast.
congratulations. Thank you.
Good job on
Much
your podcast.
success to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything you did. That's another dollar.
Right. Thank you.
Congratulations on everything you're doing. I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to seeing your products in Walmart because I love Walmart,
Yes.
and I know they're gonna be in there sooner than later. So, um, thank you again. Have a good
Thank you
night.
for having me. Have a good night.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank
Take care.
you.
Bye.